Yes, I am for real, Exiles. We have two huge new teasers for the next Path of Exile 2 expansion 0.5 Return of the Ancients. One is official and the other is a leak. And I have a theory that I think is legit and will be proven out over the course of the next couple days. But my confidence in it might be emboldened by the 103-degree fever that is currently coursing through my body. Yeah, I am sick. I am delirious, but it's better now than at League launch, right? Grinding Gear Games kicked off the teaser season with this trailer right here. The announcement for Return of the Ancients, a trailer that obviously was talking about the brand new endgame story for the Atlas itself, the revamp that the Atlas is going to get. People are debating over whether it means the Infinite Atlas is going away or if we are just getting some sort of revamp to the existing Infinite Atlas in Return of the Ancients. Then today, this trailer came out, the second teaser, and it doesn't hint toward the new endgame in my opinion. I think this is obviously pointing toward two incredibly interesting things. The first is an expedition update. The second we'll talk about in just one moment, but it has to do with the guy standing right here with a tuning fork and a dagger on his belt. This spider-like creature, the blue orb in its centerpiece, the runes on the creature and the man, they all point toward being Kalgurin, which are the people who host all the expedition content in the game. I believe this teaser is pointing toward an expedition revamp, rework, or major content addition. Just like Trailer 1 was talking about just the whole Atlas endgame, Trailer 2 is pointing towards something to do with expedition. I have no idea what, honestly. I'm guessing that's a new boss, maybe a new type of mechanic to do with expedition. But I think the next teaser is going to be for another one of the content systems in Path of Exile 2's endgame that PoE 2 initially launched with. Are you lost? Maybe a little bit. Let me explain here. If you like unhinged content like this, make sure to like and subscribe. When Path of Exile 2 came out in December of 2024, its endgame was bare bones. It existed, but it was very, very barren. We had the Infinite Atlas, we had the Arbiter of Ash, and we had 4 different content systems: Ritual, Breach, Expedition, and Delirium, and out of the set, Breach was probably the best. Ever since then, the developers have been talking about how they need to update each of these content systems, add more bosses to them, add more interesting rewards, differentiate them more from their Path of Exile 1 counterparts, or just flesh them out more than their Path of Exile 1 counterparts. Well, if this trailer was for Expedition, that means we should be getting a trailer for one of the other content systems very, very soon. And that leads me right into the leak. A couple of days ago, the Korean Path of Exile YouTube channel accidentally posted a teaser that had this thumbnail right here and this title screen on it. After about an hour, it was removed. Well, why would they remove it, you might be asking? Well, it hinted toward something to do with Breach. You can see the handprints right here on either side. Hands obviously heavily involved with Breach, and in fact the symbols right here are the exact symbols of the Keepers of the Flame League in Path of Exile 1, which happened 2 leagues ago. This was 3.26. This league had a complete revamp of Breach in Path of Exile 1. It completely changed how the encounters looked like in maps. It added multiple crafting system, new boss fights, new item rewards. So I think what they're going to do for Path of Exile 2 is transfer the much richer Breach system that's in Path of Exile 1 to Path of Exile 2 as well, and that'll be what they do for the Breach revamp in Path of Exile 2. Honestly, this is very exciting to me if it is true, because there's something called the Genesis tree in Path of Exile 1's Breach that allows you to vomit out item rewards. It's super cool, great for SSF, and yeah, it might be a little busted in some regards, but it's still such a sick system and would add to Path of Exile 2's crafting arsenal. It would also add more variety to the Breach encounters that we have in Path of Exile 2's endgame. There just wouldn't be the clasped hands that you walk on and have monsters spawn out of. There'd be a little bit more depth to those hands, and there would be Breach hives, which are defense events, which I think would look a little interesting in Path of Exile too. So let's keep this theory going. If I'm correct that we started with the Atlas revamp, then we went to the Expedition one, even though it was very minimal, right? Then we're gonna get this Breach one that I just talked about. What does that mean is coming next? It means we should get at least 2 more teaser trailers for Delirium and Ritual. Abyss doesn't need to be touched, and I think the Temple, even though it's gonna get GGG triple tapped, is probably all set as well. This all would be very exciting to see, and why it would be pitched as one of the largest Path of Exile updates of all time. If they're adding a bunch of juicy content to all these pre-existing endgame systems, in addition to adding a brand new league to the game along the lines of Abyss or the Val Temple. This is going to be a ridiculously large update if this pans out to be true. And then there's this guy right here. Everyone's debating whether or not this person is just a new NPC that you traverse the endgame with to uncover ancient truths, I think, to do with what we're unearthing about the Kalgurans who had expeditions to Rayclass a long time ago, or if he's a brand new class that has traveled far and wide to amass these forbidden knowledge powers. Okay, what hints toward him being a brand new class? GGG knows that we're going to speculate about this, right? What do they put on his belt? They put a dagger on his belt. What is coming with daggers? The Shadow class. Does he look a little Leaf, a little shadowy? I don't know. He actually, in my opinion, looks quite Templar-y. He has runes on his armor, which of course are Kalguran runes, but still it looks like more of a heavy armor dude. Plus he has this right here. Everybody's joking about us getting forks before swords. This is a tuning fork. In Dungeons and Dragons, tuning forks are usually used by spellcasters, primarily clerics, to summon things from other planes of existence like elementals, demons, devils, angels, so on and so forth. So could this actually not be just a teaser for a single class, one class, and Expedition being revamped, but a teaser for 2 classes coming to the game? Those being the Shadow, because of the dagger right here, and the Templar, because of the very cleric-y, full plate vibes of the armor and the tuning fork that he's wielding right here, because a cleric is kind of like a Templar, right? They're almost interchangeable, okay? That would be kind of insane because everybody is expecting what first? They are expecting swords. That's my best attempt at a sword. So why in the world would Grinding Gear Games add a Shadow first and then the Templar before swords? I think we're all just going a little bit insane with this teaser, even though at this point I do think there will at least be 1 class added. This patch took 6 months to put out. There is unlikely to be another patch for another 6 months because they're not going to slot something in between ExileCon and now. I really don't think that's going to happen. I think there's going to be a big patch at the end of the year. Will it be 1.0? Will it be 0.6? I think it'll be 1.0, and that'll probably have a class. But right now, they need to add another class. People are yearning for a new archetype to sink their teeth into, in addition to Druid and everything else. And that needs to come with a melee weapon. I think the best one to add, and the one that they've hinted at the most, are swords. So why in the world do we see daggers and a tuning fork and a dude that's kind of like the Templar? I don't know what's going on. I really have no clue. Do you have any idea what Grinding Gear Games is doing? If you do, let me know in the comments below. And if you like this more unhinged rant that I did while on some meds with 103-degree fever, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel for more Path of Exile 2 content, and watch this video right here on my screen, which has to do with PoE 2, I am guessing.